forget the agent's name. Heller. He is the agent who was supposedly killed by Sprazza, but he ended up taking on that persona. So, and I think that was kind of like he's doing his job by, fulfilling that order that was given to him to keep this guy alive, because that was ordered from higher up. But he's kind of really cold and calculated about it, and shows no remorse for Ryan Reynolds' partner, who was just gunned down in an elevator. And all this could have been stopped if they had just known, told, hey, don't do anything, let Buddy get taken, we need his heart. Or just cancel the op. Cancel the op in the first place.
That's why he kind of does call him out, and he's like, you guys stood there and didn't say shit while
kept us in the dark.
Yeah, kept us in the dark while we were getting our asses kicked out there.
Exactly.
Like, losing people for what? For just because of fucking one agent?
And he says, "What you're gonna? Is he gonna tell you where all the bodies are buried?"
Yeah, you're not gonna get shit from it. So I mean, in retrospect, I probably would have did the same shit, dude. I would have fucking
thrown it all away.
Yeah, okay. Let me fucking take these guys and kill them, and then I'm resigning. That's it.
Well, that's the thing, is that towards the end of the film, so Andy Garcia's what's his character's name?
I don't remember his Locke. Loke, right?
Yeah, Locke.
Because, I don't remember his first name.
Alright, so Locke fucking, he's at the end of the film, they're at the hospital where they're basically detoxing Buddy because he's full of coke and shit. So they have to detox him so they can get him ready for the transplant that will hopefully go okay. And Ryan Reynolds has figured out everything, and he's like, fuck that, like, I can't let you get away with this. And he basically threatens Locke, or Andy Garcia's character, and then they kind of go back and forth, and Locke says, well, you're gonna go back to DC and forget that that you know about any of this, and just
he's like, I can forgive you for everything you've said and done so far. Just
basically like this conversation never happened. You can go, like, I'll forgive you because of everything that's happened, and I understand, and I'm sincerely sorry about your partner, and gives him like this very cold apology. And then Ryan Reynolds, you think he's given up, and he says, okay, like, we're clear.
Yeah, he says, are we clear? We're clear.
We're clear. And he waits for Locke and everybody to kind of leave. He walks into the operating room where Buddy Aces Israel and Sprazza lay next to each other, hooked up to what do you call it?
Respirators? Life support.
Life support system, right? And he locks the two sliding doors, right? So there's no way to get in.
It's bulletproof. It's you can't get through.
Shatterproof. And he kind of thinks to himself whether he should do this or not. And then he pulls the plugs both simultaneously, and we watch Buddy kind of pass away, and then Sprazza right after.
Flatline.
And then he pulls his gun, empties his gun, and
empties it out, puts his badge down on the ground, and kind of just sits there. And
it's like that's his resignation. Like, now I'm done.
And I like to say too, I like to point out the fact that the buildup of the music, and the cinematography of him, them showing his face and his tears building up with the music building up, and then the fucking flat lines in the back. When I first saw that, I did get a little bit emotional. I was like, fuck yeah. Fucking he
got into it.
Yeah, he did the right thing. Like, he did fucking the most heroic thing you can do is say fuck you to these guys. You guys killed my partner.
No one's getting anything.
Yeah, dude. If I'm not happy, none of you fuckers are happy.
Yeah.
That's it. All this for that? Fuck that.
Pull the plug.
Yeah. It was him getting revenge, I think, for his partner. Honestly, it was like, well, I'm not going to let you guys live when my partner died for basically nothing.
For nothing. Yeah.
And that scene where he unplugs the life support, I feel like it's on a par with when Buddy is back in the Las Vegas the hotel when he's trying to kill himself because they've
his agent calls him and tells him that the FBI they pulled out of his
witness protection.
Yeah.
And he realizes he's fucked, and he's just kind of waiting for the first person to come into the room and take him out. So then he attempts to kill himself, and that's a very emotional scene as well. But it's cool that they are able to recapture that magic with Ryan's performance at the end of the film.
Yeah, you really feel for Buddy when he's going through it, because you know that he's lost everything, and he's. It's ironic that they show him with the gun in his mouth, and he's still trying to grab.
He's still doing that like kind of magic hands where he's like, look away.
He's still trying to pull something out of the air where he knows he's fucked. Like that, this is it.
That's what I like his saying when he's with Common. He's like, I make. He's like, I can shape it, bend it. Manipulate it to whatever I want it to be. He's like, but I still see both sides of the card, and I know it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
He's like, but to you, it's magic. To me, I know it's fucking fake.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. Like kind of how he kind of sees things rather than the audience or someone else in front of him would see it.
See, his heart was in the right place, and he wanted to do good for his people, because that was his.
Those are his guys. Those are the guys who did things for him that he couldn't.
Family. So I mean, I can get it. And when towards the end, when he's on that coke binge, just fucking saying "fuck it" if I'm gonna.
The Anakin eyes.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. I like that too. What did they put, like a whole like black tint over his eyes, where because he takes out his contact, right?
Yeah.
At nights, that's just his regular.
He has like eye color changing,
and they're all fucking black.
Just basic contacts.
All bloodshot and shit. That just shows you how much he's like just
he's
taking a toll.
Strung out.
Yeah.
Like progressively more strung out.
I think that was to hide, like he was all strung out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, you feel for the dude, and he has nothing left, and he puts that gun in his mouth, and it just kind of collapses.
Yeah, that scene with him and Common, where he knows that Common knows, and he's still trying to like work it out and say, he's like, no, he's like, and you can see Common kind of reaching into his glove, and then he's pulling out a card, and he's like, you see once Common pulls out that gun and he flicks that card, you can hear it, because he doesn't want him to do it, because that's his buddy, and you see that's like the last guy who had his back, and you kind of see him lose everything at the flick of the card.
He turns into Gambit.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really liked about that, and I was like, man, that's so cool.
Fucking Gambit.
Gambit.
But yeah, dude, definitely a tearjerker at the end, and I love the twist at the end.
Pulls on your heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Alicia Keys and Common kind of escaped all of that ruckus at the end, because they were kind of both in the same boat of them wanting to get this job and kind of move on after that, especially him, because I mean he kind of says like he's like you saved this black man, and she's like, I probably would have shot you fool if you were there, but they kind of both know that they were just there for the job, and it was more so
just a paycheck.
Yeah, and then when they connected and found each other, it was like, and then I don't remember what's her friend's her partner's name.
Water.
And she sees them in the fucking scope, and she's like, what the fuck?
Well, because she goes on Taraji P. She's on the other side.
Land.
She's got the 50 cal.
50 cal.
Big Mama.
On the other side, on the other tower, right? And she's basically spotting Alicia Keys' character. And so when the big shootout happens towards the end, she sees a corpse and thinks that it's her partner.
Yeah, it's one of the dead prostitute that had gotten shot.
And so she starts firing on innocent agents, thinking that her friends are dead, or her friend's dead. So and then she realizes when she moves to another level, she sees Georgia with Common,
Ivy,
and then by that time they've already sent fucking another team
to take her out.
Yeah, to the other building, and she gets taken out. herself.
Yeah.
Because she didn't. She thought her friend was dead.
Yeah. So she's like, "Fuck it. There's nothing else to live for." And like you said, I always thought that they were a couple, but she wanted to pursue her more than anything. And you know when
they just allude to stuff, but I think Georgia was straight and Ivy.
No,
Ivy.
Ivy was Connor's name.
Is her friend.
Yeah. Taj
Waters.
Cookie.
She wanted more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I liked her character too. She was a fucking badass. Like when she's talking to the receptionist, she's like, "You see all these bitches out here?"
Giving her a little life lesson and shit.
Y'all must be burning sheets up in here.
By the tons.
Real hustle and flow right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This was pre-Hustle and Flow, right? Pre or was it post?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think Hustle and Flow came out like at 2008.
2008?
Yeah.
So it was pre. Either way, that's a good movie too.
It is. Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
What's the dude's name? He comes on in Iron Man too.
Yeah, Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, he was the original War Machine.
Yeah. He wanted more money or something.
They were like, "Fuck you, we'll get John Cheadle."
We get Don Cheadle. He doesn't complain.
Yeah.
He just takes a check.
Yeah. He was also in Dead Presidents as well.
Fuck, I haven't seen that movie in a long
I
time.
like that movie.
That movie's great.
It's a fucking great movie, dude. What's up with that episode, man?
We can.
We all gotta paint our faces though.
That'd be sick. That'd be pretty dope. Fucking
More painted.
picture and shit.
All death metals.
Yeah, looking like pandas with beanies on. I want to be like
Skeleton.
the fool that gets taken out in the trash can with both.
Yep.
Swan facts?
Swan facts.
Swan facts.
All right. So the opening surveillance van scene was completely improvised
Oh wow.
Nice.
with Ray Liotta and Ryan Reynolds.
That's cool.
I remember watching the deleted scenes and like the outtakes and stuff, and during that time I felt like they had the most improv because it was just Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta just fucking around the whole time, and you can tell the chemistry that they had on screen in those bloopers. It just looked like they were friends, like they were just chilling, you know what I'm saying, like
eating snacks in a van.
Yeah, he was throwing peanuts at that fool the whole time, like off camera and shit. Yeah.
Very nice. So the scene, you actually brought this up while we were watching the movie, but the scene where Affleck's playing pool, it took over 20 takes because he wasn't able to sink that 8-ball.
He's fucking horrible.
Fucking Batman.
I've seen a few of those outtakes, but yeah, he can't play pool for shit.
It was it got so bad because once he did sink the 8-ball, then he couldn't remember his lines because he was laughing so much.
Yeah. Like even
funny.
the cast and crew were all cheering for him and shit every time.
But it's cool the way that it's edited that makes him look like he's fine.
Yeah, like he's...
You would never have thought that watching the final product, which is really cool.
Yeah.
This is a feature film debut of Miss Alicia Keys.
Yep.
In the final film of Joseph Ruskin, who plays Speranza.
Who's
Speranza?
Is it Joseph Ruskin?
Yeah.
Where do I know him from?
I'm not sure what else he's done. Probably a bunch of shit. He was an older...
He's not the... I might be just fucking pulling this out of my ass, but... He's not the torture guy from fucking Braveheart? Who tortures him at the end? Who demands him to get tortured? I'll have to look that up. Anyways.
In Braveheart?
Yeah. I'll have to
Loyal fans, look it up and write Vic on Instagram.
Let me know I'm wrong.
He was in a bunch of shit. Star Trek, Deep Space Nine.
Mm.
Where was I? You got me off track.
That was the guy's last film.
Fun fact is Speraza's last film.
Joseph Ruskin, R.I.P. Feature film debut of Common, who's actually done a